We're going to kick off right away. We got a full morning for you, and first I'm going to invite Chairman Chris Lauzen up to the stage to welcome everyone here this morning. Thank you, Chris.
Well done. Good morning. You know, work is a special gift, and to be good at our work is to be able to share it with others what's been given to us. So in Kane County, we have a microcosm of the state and our entire country. You know, there are the broad shoulders of Elgin and Aurora with industrial background, assimilation of generations of immigrants who have come to this country, and the richness that's provided by diversity. We have the gems of the Tri-Cities and the cities north of Elgin along the Fox River. And to the west, we have some of the most productive farm families in the United States, most productive farm families and also the farmland in the entire world. And then, yes, a river does run through it. The beautiful Fox River is a special gift to all of us to enjoy. It's all ours to treasure and to share, and as Kane County goes, so goes the rest of the state and the country. My responsibility today is to welcome you to the summit, to thank you for coming, and to frame our discussion for the rest of the morning. Each of you has been individually selected to be invited to be here today. And it's because of your influence and because of your impact on your neighbors, and your ability to make things better in your lives and the lives of everybody around you. So that does make you a very important people. You are leaders, you are good at building relationships, and then building everything that surrounds us. We respect you, and we're very grateful for the work that you do. So I'd like to thank Mark Van Kerkhoff and his staff, Carl Shadle, Barb Jeffers, Roger Fonstock, Rick Nagel, for being the core group that's organized today's function. It came out of an earlier planning collaboration that they used to do every year. And rather than planning and doing an enormous amount of good, but in a smaller context, they've been generous enough to expand it into what you see today, the second annual Kane County Summit. So thank you very much to the organizers today. But I'd like to especially thank each of you for coming, for making the investment. I think that you're going to find that the investment that you make this morning in the thought process and then the call to action and specific things that you take away from what you learned today and thinking, open your mind this morning to thinking about, well, what can I do in my life, in my area, in my responsibilities with what I learned? There's opportunities just overflowing from what we're talking about today, and take your share of it, and the dividends will be enormous. So today we're going to be discussing modernizing the concept of infrastructure. We intend to light up Kane County in the most positive way. The program today is like an hourglass. You can think of it as a funnel hourglass that then opens up to call for action. First, we have the general case that's going to be presented right off the bat, the general case of people who have done this well in a large, wonderful area of Kansas City. We have a gentleman with us today, Michael Burke, who is a soft-spoken, very intelligent man who was one of the key leaders of making it possible for Kansas City to light up with fiber optics. I especially appreciate Michael's good example because during this process, he also then ran for mayor of Kansas City, and what a good thing to put you and your family forward to give people an opportunity to, select, putting yourself on the line. That's what our speaker, keynote speaker this morning has done. Then we're going to go into the specific case as we get more near. We'll get the general, then we'll go to the specific in two parts. The first one is going to be Roger Fonstock, who's going to present the asset that we have in Kane County because of his foresight. If it weren't for Roger Fonstock, we wouldn't be here today. While we're building roads in Kane County through the leadership of our Kane County Department of Transportation, it was Roger's initiative who said, while we're building that, let's build for the future, and put in 47 miles of fiber optic cable in the ground. If that hadn't been done, if the boards in the past and leadership of the county in the past had not supported that, there'd be none of this opportunity. So, Roger, where are you? You're going to have a, okay. Well done, and thank you so much for. You know, I think that it was Emerson who said that the world is the lengthened shadow of man and woman. And it is really true that without individual initiative, and I think that it's true for every person who has, or, you know, was selected and arrived here this morning, that it is the lengthened, our world is the lengthened shadow of what you are and what you do. And so it is those kinds of key things. We then go to a panel discussion of both suppliers of services through the internet. Well, what's like the smorgasbord, or what's the buffet of all the things that we've dreamt up to this point, and what's available? So that's going to be the suppliers. But there's also going to be a group of these entrepreneurs and leaders who have identified what the customers look like and drawing the innovation through the process, because in the end, any sustainable kind of business, it's going to take somebody paying for some service that they desire, that the market desires. And so we have people who are going to be on that panel who represent action and accomplishment in that area. And then finally, the capstone of what we're going to be doing today, we have another keynote speaker at the other bookend of the program. It's going to be one of the most powerful, effective executives in our region, and that's Cook County Board President Toni Preckwinkle is going to wrap it up by describing some of the things that she's led the way for all of us in the Chicago and Northern Illinois region as far as economic development and making things better for people. So this is about infrastructure. Roads, bridges, buildings, wonderful. They are a source of great public pride, individual pride and public pride. You know, you make an investment in a building, bridge, roads, but you know it has a useful life. And as soon as you cut that ribbon, it's depreciating. It's starting to run out that useful life. But think about, and by the way, usually a government has to tax to start to replace it. But think about fiber optics, information highway kind of infrastructure, where there are people at the receiving end of that service who are willing to pay a user fee or a service fee to support it and to expand it. So it's an infrastructure that pays for itself. So it is a wonderful thing what's going to be talked about today, and every one of you has a share in this, and you need to today identify, well, what am I going to take from here back to, you know, my set of responsibilities? How am I going to use this tremendous asset that's shared for all of us, initiated from a responsible government? I thank the board that supports all these initiatives, but then it's what you do with it in the end. So thank you very much for coming today. I'm glad you're here.